Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Southern California first-time buyer market update. Do not look backwards. I think looking backwards can be a real big thief of joy for today's first-time home buyers. Anyhow, we've got lots of stats to go over. Let's get started. My name is Stephen Meade. I am the principal here at Domicile Real Estate, where we are on a mission to help California's renters become homeowners. I want to jump right into the stats. But first, before we do that, this is not clickbait. Stop looking backwards. I bought my first home in 2005. Do you know what I thought of in 2005? I thought I had wished I had bought in 1999 when the homes were a lot cheaper and a certain particular house I wanted sold for a certain unbelievably cheap price. I thought prices were insane in 2005. Well, lo and behold, what's happened? 20 years later, first-time homebuyers have the same mentality. Instead of looking backwards to what you think you've missed out on, look forward to your opportunities. And guess what? Your situation is actually much better than you think, and we're going to go ahead and show that right now. So kind of our first thing here that we're going to talk about is our closed prices. We were really set on a trajectory of seeing prices just jumping for this spring. They've kind of eased off a little bit, but it's kind of a bit of a mixed story, depending on whether we are talking about condos or whether we are talking about single family homes. And so when we're talking about our entry-level single family homes, we've actually kind of eased off our peak there. We're at 779. That is still a little bit higher than other times, but it is not the highest price. Condos, again, it's not the highest, though we saw kind of a bit of an increase. I think we're going to see, as long as these rates stay elevated, we're going to see more modest increases in the next month or two. Total monthly payment. Again, this is not the worst time. Let's go back and look here. In October of last year, you would be looking at $6,700 for that entry-level single-family home as opposed to $6,300 a month today. If you were in a condo, you would be looking at, our peak there was at $5,232 versus $4,966. So a little less than $300 of difference. So things could definitely be worse if you're a first-time buyer. In fact, they have been worse. Minimum household income required, $155 here for our entry-level single-family home, and just over $121,000 for our entry-level condo. And again, just a reminder, this is minimum household income required if there are no other debts at prevailing interest rates. Based on 5% down, this has mortgage insurance, this has kind of everything else already included in there. And here we see some other good news, right? Is look at our absorption rate. These are not terrible numbers. In the 70s, this means that, yes, it is still a seller's market, but not wildly so. I think this is actually a really great period of time. You see, we actually did have higher numbers a few weeks ago, and things have eased off a little bit, especially in that entry-level single-family home category, which was in the 80s. Now it's in the 70s. And we're in a better spot than we were in at this point last year. So really good news. Inventory, still less than last year, but it is actually rising. If you're a condo buyer, I think you might actually see some softness in prices. Look at how much higher the inventory is this year than last year for our condo buyers. This, though, one tells me that when I say things could be worse, I think they could be. If you look at this 14-day still active percentage, you'll see this number is dropping. And lower means more competitive. So I do think if we see some interest rate softness, if we see the Fed does decide to make a rate cut in the next one or two meetings, it seems like for that second meeting, it looks like Wall Street is guessing a 50-50 shot. I think that may give a sugar shot in the arm for home buyers, but not necessarily enough for home sellers. And I'm going to go off share here just for a second to talk about something. If you're a buyer in this marketplace, you might think that you want rates to drop, but really you don't. And I'm going to tell you why you do not want interest rates to drop, at least not while you are still looking for a house. If interest rates drop a little bit, let's say they go to 6%, for example, I think that that will produce a huge swell of home buyers coming into the marketplace. But what it won't do is wildly increase inventory. All of those sellers who currently own homes who are sitting on the sidelines, they need to see rates in the fives before they get off their butt. So, if you are a first-time home buyer, what you really want to do is you want rates to stay elevated while you were looking. You want to secure your property, right? Get in there. Yes, the rate is higher than you'd like. I understand the payment is probably going to be higher than you'd like as well. However, that means when there is an inevitable rate drop at some point in time, you will be able to take advantage of that rate drop, lower your payment, and not be in the market against all of the other buyers. Being in the market at the same time as all the other buyers means poor selection and poorer terms. Okay, let's go ahead and go back and continue onward. So we did 14 days still active. If we look at our week supply of homes, this is kind of relative inventory. The great news is if you're a condo buyer, you actually have a lot more inventory this year in 2024 than you had in 2023. And if you are a entry-level single-family buyer, you have a little bit more inventory. But if you'll notice, you'll see this number is going down. So despite the fact that our raw numbers of inventory are going up, our relative inventory is going down. What does that mean? It means the rate that buyers are coming to the market is accelerating. So, this is really all we have for you this week. Not a huge update, but look, I know it's tough out there, but I'm going to tell you something that maybe you do or you don't want to hear. It has been tough for almost every generation of home buyers. And yes, maybe it's a little bit more tough today. In fact, it's definitely a little bit more tough today, but it is not impossible. You have not missed the bus yet. There are still some great opportunities for first-time buyers out there. There are definitely some unique assistance programs that are coming online, shared equity programs. I think those are probably my favorite. Anyhow, that's it. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. And of course, if you are looking to become a homeowner or you know someone who should be, we would absolutely love to talk to you or them. Definitely hit us up. We'll see you again real soon.